You're watching Football Daily and here are this week's biggest transfer headlines. The rumour mill has been slowing down a bit since the hectic end to the January window, but there are still some interesting stories out there to get our teeth stuck into, so stay tuned for the next 8 minutes. Let's go. We kick off at Arsenal, where failure to replace the outgoing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang last month issued a blow to their top 4 challenge. With Alexandre Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah struggling in front of goal this term, Mikel Arteta has had to rely on Saka, Smith Rowe and Martinelli, with the Gunners ranking 7th in the league for goals scored, below struggling Leicester. Their main targets were Real Sociedad's Alexander Isak, Everton's Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and of course Dusan Vlahovic, who ended up moving from Fiorentina to Juventus for €75 million, while a swap deal involving Aubameyang and Juve striker Alvaro Morata never materialised. And a new report has now claimed that they actually turned down the chance to sign another top European goalscorer. According to David Ornstein in The Athletic, Arsenal had the option of exploring the possibility of another swap deal for Aubameyang, this time involving PSG star Mauro Icardi. The Argentinian number 9 has struggled at the Parc des Princes since making his move from Inter permanent in 2020, scoring just 11 goals in nearly 40 Liga appearances since the start of last season, while drama in his private life has overshadowed his efforts on the pitch. However, he had hit 20 plus goals in 4 of the 6 seasons prior to his €50 million switch, and so does have the kind of pedigree that Arsenal are missing in their front line right now. But while the specific reason why they turned down the opportunity to pursue Icardi remains unknown, it wouldn't be a surprise if Mikel Arteta is not attracted to a player who has courted controversy at multiple points during his career. But with the Gunners apparently keen to stick to their initial targets, expect more links to Isak and Calvert-Lewin as the summer approaches. Over to Man City now, as following the big money sale of Ferran Torres to Barcelona, the Premier League champions may be keen on raiding the Catalan club for one of its top young players. According to Spanish publication Marca, City are one of a host of clubs eyeing up Nico Gonzalez, who is impressed since making the step up from Barca B at the start of the season. Along with Gavi and Abde, the 20-year-old is part of a new youth contingent at the Camp Nou, which due to the club's financial situation has seemingly attracted interest from other top clubs in Europe, with Gavi repeatedly linked with Chelsea over the last couple of months. But there is a potential stumbling block should anyone want to make a move for Nico, with the youngster signing a new deal last summer that keeps him at the club until 2024 and includes a massive €500 million release clause. So he certainly won't come cheap. But as has been noted in the speculation surrounding teammates Gavi and Frankie de Jong, with the Blaugrana now stacked in the centre of the park, the idea of one of their midfielders being sold to raise funds for strengthening elsewhere in the side is not totally mad, even if getting rid of a top La Masia graduate would not go down well with the fans. In this sense, it's no surprise to hear that Nico is very happy at the Camp Nou, where he has spent the last 9 years of his life. And would he even make sense at City? Nico would likely be battling Rodri for a place in Pep Guardiola's starting 11, and with the fellow Spaniard enjoying his best season yet in the Prem this year, not to mention he's still just 25, it's hard to see the Barca boy getting much of a look in if he moved to the Etihad. With around 1,000 league minutes to his name already this term, staying in La Liga and learning from Xavi and Busquets is surely his best option right now. But before we go on any further to our headline story, we've noticed that a number of you watching this are not subscribed to Football Daily. If you're one of those people, get subscribed as we put videos like this out every single day, covering transfers, the Premier League, the Champions League and Europe's top leagues. Anyway, let's move on. One man whose fortunes have quickly changed since leaving Barcelona is Philippe Coutinho, whose loan switch to Aston Villa has so far gone very well indeed. Scoring on his debut against Manchester United, the Brazilian added another excellent strike and 2 superb assists for Jacob Ramsey in a virtuoso first half display against Leeds last week. Linking back up with old teammate Steven Gerrard at Villa Park has clearly done wonders for his confidence, and he already looks at home back in the Premier League. This fantastic form has unsurprisingly seen links begin to emerge with other English clubs, and according to Spanish outlet Fichajes, both Arsenal and West Ham could go in for him in the summer. The report even claims that the Blaugrana could retain his services come the end of the season, but considering his huge wages, of which Villa are covering about 65% during his loan, this seems highly unlikely. And where exactly he would fit at a club like Arsenal, who already employ Martin Ødegaard and Emil Smith-Rowe in creative roles, is also up for debate. Manager Mikel Arteta is a known admirer of Coutinho, and the player was of course linked with a move to the Emirates last summer. But with the Gunners particularly thin at the base of midfield and of course up front, they will surely be prioritising those areas in the next transfer window. West Ham would arguably be a more interesting proposition for the Brazilian. Pablo Fornals is enjoying his best campaign in a claret and blue jersey, Said Benrahma has been involved in 9 goals, while Jared Bowen has been one of the Premier League's outstanding attackers with 8 goals and 8 assists to his name so far. But with Manuel Lanzini's contract up in 2023 and Nikola Vlasic hardly getting a look in since his £27 million move from Moscow last summer, it could be argued the Hammers forward line could do with an extra spark if they want to improve again next season. Like Arteta, David Moyes will surely be prioritising a striker in the summer, while a centre-back will also be targeted. But if they can achieve their dream of Champions League qualification, then the London Stadium could become an attractive option for a player like Coutinho. But let's take all of this with a pinch of salt. Fichajes do have a tendency to sensationalise, and while they claim Barca will sell Coutinho to the highest bidder, the logistics of this are unclear considering that Villa have a €40 million option to buy on the 29-year-old. And if he continues to be successful under Gerrard, it's hard to imagine the previously unsettled player wanting to up sticks again. But what would you do if you were Coutinho? Stick at Aston Villa next season or pursue a move to a Champions League club? Let us know in the comments below. Over at Man United, there's been much talk over the club's potential summer activity in recent weeks, with Ralf Rangnick reportedly keen for the Red Devils to hire Erik Ten Hag as his successor, and Mauricio Pochettino apparently ready to make former pupil Harry Kane his #1 target should he get the nod ahead of the Ajax coach. But while centre-forward is an area of concern for the Premier League outfit, ESPN have claimed this week that a more all-round attacker in Christopher Nkunku is on Rangnick's shopping list. With Paul Pogba's future still up in the air and Donny van de Beek on loan at Everton, the club's midfield could look a lot thinner come July, and Nkunku is enjoying the season of his life at RB Leipzig. And one thing that would make him an attractive option for United is his versatility. A creative midfielder by trade, Nkunku has also played up front this term, with his 11 Bundesliga goals ranking him 5th in the German top flight. Oliver Mintzlaff, Red Bull's global head of soccer, recently said the plan is for Nkunku to remain at the club next season, and under contract until 2024, he won't come cheap, with the Football Observatory valuing him between 50 million and 70 million euros. But with United's scouts apparently being instructed to increase their focus on the 24-year-old, this could be a story that develops more over the coming months. Meanwhile, the club are also set to appoint a #2 for football director John Murtough. According to David Ornstein, the process is already at the interview stage, while the motivation behind such a move is due to an understanding that Murtough has too big a workload for one person to deal with, and given United anticipate a big summer in terms of both arrivals and departures, there is no better time to hire someone in a supporting role. And as noted by Ornstein, such a role has been utilised at 2 of the Premier League's most revered football operations. Julian Ward has backed up Liverpool sporting director Michael Edwards since the end of 2020 and will take the reins from him when he leaves at the end of the season, while Brighton recently promoted David Weir to a similar #2 role shortly before Dan Ashworth's resignation. Progress may be slow on the field, but the post-Ed Woodward era is slowly taking shape away from it at Old Trafford. So that's all we have time for on Transfer Talk for this week. If you enjoyed the video, please leave us a like, and why not check out our latest FD Explained on how Bruno Lage has improved Wolves. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.